Happy Thanksgiving Eve. It's Wednesday. It's time for you and I and everyone else to gather. How grand is that? I left my thermos at home. I forgot it, so my coffee's already in my cup. And it's good, so we can be caffeinated. But I don't have my thermos today. How weird is that? But I'm here, and you're here. We've got an hour of fun. Let's do housekeeping quick. If your phone, remember turn it sideways, the picture's bigger. If the comments bother you, swipe, and it puts it into the silent mode where you don't see those. If you don't want it, you can do it this way. That way they're on the bottom. If you're on your computer, you can go to large screen. If you're on your TV, oh my gosh, you can see all my wrinkles. But let's have some fun. Welcome to Flower School Live. Today, we're going to be talking about fun traditions from Thanksgiving. As I was getting ready for this, I thought, what are we going to do? I mean, it's tomorrow. It's too late to really do anything. But not really. How many of us do it the last minute because that's when we can? Although this year's a little bit different. Maybe a lot different. Yeah, it's a really lot different. But I thought, it's still Thanksgiving. It's still a chance to gather with family and friends, maybe by Zoom, maybe by telephone, maybe outside, maybe in little tiny groups. Maybe it's just you, just one person. But even if it's just one person, it's still a chance to gather with your soul and yourself and have a wonderful time. So as I was thinking, I was like, what in the heck am I going to do? What am I going to do? And I thought, I'm going to do a reflection on holiday traditions that I've enjoyed, designs I've made, and then we'll move forward to holiday 2020, what it means like today. For me, Thanksgiving is a fun time to gather with friends. I actually have a Friendsgiving. My family is huge. I have an enormous family. But for Thanksgiving, I go and spend it with friends. And we have a great time. Many of you know I don't cook. So my job is always to do the creating, decorating the table, making it be fabulous. So I thought I'd kind of start there. The first one I'm going to do, and I posted it for the Tulip Tribe Facebook page to see, and it's based on a garland. So I gathered foliages. I've got some Floral. And I would maybe break it down a little bit. You don't need it to be quite so big. And I've got some ruscus. I've got some deciduous huckleberry, have fatsia, lilygrass. I'm going to quickly make a little garland and show you one centerpiece that I use for Thanksgiving. Because to me, the look, the ambiance, the participation, getting dressed up, being ready for something special, and then enjoying a meal, whatever it may be. It doesn't have to be turkey. It can be anything, but taking the time to make it special. With me in the studio today, we have Carolyn and Marisa. With me online, we have Susie and Caledonia. And with us for the collaboration, we have you. So take a moment while we're getting started here. Let us know who you are, where you're from. If you're part of the tribe, be sure to add your tulip, put your tulip in, and introduce yourself. If you're a first timer, let us know. Those of you that aren't first timers, make sure and welcome them. Make them feel special. Let them know that we're glad they're here. And then I'd love to know what you're doing during this live. I know that several people told me that they were making pies and watching live. Some people are prepping the table, prepping the food, making sure the turkey's in the refrigerator and not the freezer, things like that. What are you doing? So take a moment, type it in, let us know your story, introduce yourself, and then Marisa and Carolyn will make sure and let us know what's happening. Susie and Caledonia will be greeting you. And I'm going to sit here and make a little bit of a garland. Those of you that have taken flower school with us, you know how to make garland. It's nothing new, nothing special. I'm using paddle wire, just wrapping it around. You've seen all the Black Friday sales that are already started? I mean, it's not waiting for Black Friday. Can you believe it? It's just insane. People are doing 20% off, 50% off, 60 or 70% off. And I'm thinking, wow. If you can do 70% off or 60% off, or maybe you a little overpriced to begin with, I don't know. I just thought it was kind of interesting. I've been watching it and I'm like, this is amazing. So Carol and Marisa, while I work on the last of this little garland, getting this ready, what's going on out there?
We've got quite a few tulips popping in. We have Jane, Trinity, Tabitha, Christine, Rhonda, Janet, Leslie, Marmac, Jacqueline, James, and Nicole. And Nicole is making tacos and guacamole right now.
Oh, tacos and guacamole. That sounds so good. Oh my gosh. You know, one of my traditions, I'll share, and then I'm going to ask you to share your traditions too. But one of my traditions for Thanksgiving, with it being Friendsgiving, it's 3 families that gather, and we all gather together, flying in, meet together on Wednesday, dash to the grocery store in the insanity. How silly is that? But it's just kind of the tradition. Then we get home, and the first day we all just sit around, chat, have a good time, kind of organize things. But David, my husband, is in charge for Thanksgiving Eve dinner. And we always do something different. And we've not done tacos or guacamole. That sounds kind of good. We've done paella. We've done lamb chops, we've done spaghetti dishes, we've done clams, but we always do something different for Thanksgiving Eve. And we actually have 2 big celebration meals, because part of the joy of the holiday is to gather with people and just chat and share what's been going on for the year. This year we may be sharing on Zoom. I'm not gathering with anybody. I'm hoping you aren't either, because we all have to be careful and protect ourselves. But turkey or tacos and guacamole, man, I'm thinking maybe that's what I want. I like that. Marisa, what's going on in your world?
Well, the tulips I see, let's see, I have Amber, Sharon, Scott, Molly, Rose, who both Carolyn and I had a great conversation with over the phone yesterday. She's working on her last arrangement for the advanced online course.
Oh, wow. Congratulations, Rose. You're so close.
And we have Roger, who I believe just graduated from the basic course.
Oh, Roger, I just signed your certificate. It's sitting on my desk. I walked in the door, and I always sit down at the desk, and I sign certificates. And yours was there. And I said, oh, Roger, how exciting. Congratulations to you, a graduate of Floral Design Institute. I'm so proud of you. I know it takes effort to complete a course and to really get all your assignments done. So to each of you that are working on your studies, thank you. And keep it up. Do the good work, because it's going to take you where you want to go next. Pretty fabulous.
And Leanne, we also have Cam, Robin, Kim, who says you are looking quite fabulous on her 65-inch TV.
I hear these big screens, and I'm like, oh no, get your phone out. Just look at me on your phone, because I don't want to know. Oh my, I mean, every wrinkle, but you know what, whatever. Getting old is a privilege that not everybody gets. So I'll take it, and I like myself better at this age than I did when I was younger. So I guess I'm thankful for my age today, and I'm thankful that you can watch me on a 65-inch TV. That's stretching it. So I went ahead and knotted this off, because I'm going to stop here. You don't need to watch me make garland forever. But 1 year for Thanksgiving, this is what I did. I made garland, and we do one long rectangular table. I've actually never had Thanksgiving at a round table. Kind of interesting, isn't it? I never have had Thanksgiving at a round table. I've had different size oblong tables, but never round. And so my centerpieces for the meal are always stretched out. So the year that I did Garland, I had probably 12 feet of garland done like this, all done. And then I packed it into a suitcase and loaded all the flowers and the water tubes and such and headed out on the airplane, unpacked it, and then decorated the table. So I have my garland, and I'll show you how I decorate it while I gather my things. Marisa, Carolyn, what's going on?
Okay, a few more shout outs to the Tulip Tribe out here that I see on Facebook, because first, we all have to wish Nikki a happy birthday. It's her birthday today.
Happy birthday, Mickey! Yay! Almost Thanksgiving, well, would it be Thanksgiving Eve birthday? Not almost Thanksgiving Eve, but you got a Thanksgiving Eve birthday. So
And
we're
then-
celebrating with you.
And then, I'm sorry, and then we're celebrating with her, Kathy and Joanne, Janet, Joe, Annalise, and Arthur. And I have to ask this question from Olivia, because she was the first person that popped up when the live started today, and I kind of feel like it's an urgent question. She wants to know what the best way to process stock is.
For stock, okay, stock, which is a wonderful, somewhat old-fashioned flower that's back in favor now and very abundant. And it always looks a little almost ruffled because the petals kind of curl in on themselves even when they're perfectly fresh. So I find I remove the lower foliage. So let's find something here. Remove everything low. Leave that close to the top. This would be a maybe, but for sure leave this because you don't want to remove all of it. This is not stock. I know I'm not talking about stock right now, but anyway, I'm using this as an example. Remove the lower foliage, give it a fresh cut, and drop it in water. And when I do the water, I don't do it super deep. I only do about 2 to 3 inches because if it's too deep with stock, it gets kind of slimy and icky. And then just let it drink. It does really well. Stock does well with quick dip. The preservative, well, it's not a preservative, it's a rapid hydration solution. So quick dip, it does well. But oftentimes I just do fresh water, cut, drop, put it in, add some flower food, happy camper. Okay. When I do garland, then I go back and water tube flowers in so that it gives it that nice look. You can do it with anything, and I'm going to pretend that I'm water tubing everything because I'm not going to make you sit and watch. But you can see you add flowers in and it looks beautiful. And something like this will last and last and last. And as the flowers start to fade, pull them out. We'll pretend I'm putting it in the garbage, but I'm putting it back in water. But pull them out. And then continue enjoying the garland. Because this is going to dry and be beautiful for weeks, literally. There's nothing here that's going to shatter. It's just going to dry and turn sort of a silver gray color, gray-green, and still be gorgeous. Then what I would do if it was my own is get little tiny 2-inch poinsettia plants, the little tiny 2-inch pots, and just tuck those in, red poinsettias against the fading dried green. Oh, stunning. So that's centerpiece number 1, reflecting back. I think I did this in maybe 2016, 2015. I don't know, 3, 4, 5 years ago, somewhere in there, I did the garland. So there's that one, okay. Then we'll move on to another, okay.
Nicole mentioned that she did something like that garland last year for Friendsgiving, then added candles and Christmas ornaments into it.
Brilliant. Just watch your candle flame because you don't want a fire hazard. But yes, that's the one thing I've been a little bit lax on over the years is candles in my Thanksgiving. Because with it being at my friend's home and they have dogs, they have kids, there's lots of happenings, I've always been a little afraid of the flame. So where I do candles in my own home, when I go to theirs and do the things, I don't do candles. It just makes me a little bit nervous, and so I don't go there. Now, before I move on to the next one, a favor to ask you. as we're all gathered together on Thanksgiving Eve, would you share this video out? I'd love to see how many people we could connect with today. Because I think many people are probably prepping at home, getting things organized. They can just listen to us in the background. So tag a friend, share it out, kind of spread the word so we can get a few people joining us. And the more, the merrier. And if you have Thanksgiving thoughts you want to share, type them in there so that we can hear. And if you're a first timer, let us know. If you're I shouldn't say old timer, a regular, we love you. I want to do a shout out, and I actually made myself a list. These are people that help me out. You might not even know it, but these are people that help me within our social media postings, because when we post something, we get a picture made, oftentimes it's Marisa, Carolyn works with her, they get things organized, and they send me a picture and say, oh, look at this, we need to get it posted, how cool is this? And then I'll get it posted, or maybe Marisa are posting, or Carolyn, or somebody else, and they'll get it in there. And then you all quickly respond and welcome any of the new tulips to the tribe. So I'm going to just kind of go quickly. Karen, Heather, Beatrice, Scott, Nancy, Lori, Jim, Joanne, Robin, Tammy, Sue, Diana, Renee, Cindy, Andy, Donna, Lisa, Rosie, Ronnie, Vanjie, and Mar. I have another page. We'll come back to it. I won't do all the names at once. But I just want to say thank you for helping all of us. Because the more of you that help, the better for the whole tribe. So thank you. This was Gratitude Day. So this was Thanksgiving, and I want to say it's been a long time, maybe 2011. And these are actually the pieces left over. I saved them. And this one we use as a pencil holder now, which is kind of funny. So all the pencils are now dumped on the counter, and Carolyn and Marisa will be going like, what was she thinking? But whatever. But this was centerpiece this direction. I'm going to pull it back out. They were long, kind of transparent. See how that's weaving out there? And then they sat on the table like this. Isn't that cool? So again, if you're part of the Tulip Tribe Facebook group, which is our graduates, our club members, our current students, I posted the picture of this one, and it's much more contemporary looking. It's not quite as lush and full as the Garland, but it's so cool. Then when it's squished together, like I squished this one down, it used to look like that. I squished it down, and then you can put a cup in it to hold water, and it can become a vase vertically, but I did it horizontally because, again, I do rectangular tables, and then taking individual tubes and just taking flowers, tuck them in the tube so that they have water, and then feeding them down into the weave. Then things that don't need water, maybe you want to do a little bit of salal, because that'll just dry all by itself. It doesn't even need water. Seeded eucalyptus, silver dollar eucalyptus. Just feed it in like so, and then spread that down the table. You could make a bouquet and put it in the upright. Maybe, let's see, what do I want to do? Maybe I'll do, let's make it kind of match. I don't want to mess it up by not matching. Look at these roses. Aren't those grand? Now this, last week when we did the Bounty with Flora Abundance and Garden Roses Direct, we talked about how many grand flowers are available, and we showed you so many things from Flora Abundance and Garden Roses Direct. This is one of them. I don't even know the name. Do you guys know the name of this one?
It's Princess Midori.
Princess Midori. Aren't those grand? They look like little tiny Brussels sprouts. That's what I figure. They look like Brussels sprouts, which, do you know, right now in my refrigerator, I have 7 pounds of Brussels sprouts to get ready for Thanksgiving. I know, nuts. 7 pounds of Brussels sprouts. That's a lot. And I thought, these kind of look like Brussels sprouts, don't they? Kind of fun. So I could make this as part of the arrangement, tucking it down, pulling it together, dividing it out. When you take basic floral design, you learn how to analyze a stem so that you can use all of it and you don't end up with wasting things. So I've done my stem analysis and I cluster it together. Getting it going, let's see, there we go. I'm getting it all in my hand and then adding to coordinate. The garden rose, this is garden rose, was grown by Alexandra Farms and it was brought to us by Garden Roses Direct. And I don't know the variety, so Marisa, maybe you can help me out with that one.
Is it more of a
Is it Effie maybe?
peachy
Yeah.
color? Yep.
It's Effie?
Yeah, and that's a David Austin.
Oh, David Austin. Their roses are amazing. The David Austin garden roses, there's really none better. And I know if you're a wedding florist, you probably are totally well aware of that. I'm not telling you anything new or different. And then I get most of my David Austin roses, I order them in through Garden Roses Direct, and that way I know I get super fresh delivered to my door. It's just so fabulous. What else am I going to put in there? Oh.
Man, Tracy just said she has 2 of those slinky structure things that you have there as well, that she made from a workshop a few years ago, and hers is hot pink and gold.
I love it. Oh my gosh, aren't they the coolest? And they last forever. I mean, it's not going to go anywhere. And so you can just keep working with it. For those of you that don't know the way to do it, and I learned this technique from Pim Vandenacker. And you take a tube, any sort of cardboard tube, and you wrap it with assorted decorative wires. I used flat wire, aluminum wire, bullion wire, and then yarns because I like the texture that goes with that. The trick, this is the secret if you want to try this at home, is when you do the wrapping, before you put it on the tube, wrap your tube with saran plastic wrap. You need that smooth surface. Or just take even a piece of paper that's really slick and wrap around it, because the texture of the cardboard, it gets stuck. It won't slide off. So what you want to do is have a smooth surface, either saran wrap or a smooth paper. Then you wrap, 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 wrap. You just keep wrapping with all the different materials. Then when you're done, you just slide it off the tube. Tube goes away, and you have this beautiful core that becomes your design. So I added in some peonies. I know, here it is November, Thanksgiving Eve. And we have peonies. They are from Florabundance. They get them year round. So that's kind of a treat. They always have them. And, well, I guess I shouldn't say always. They usually have them because they source them worldwide. So, you know, if they're out of season, they can get them from someplace else.
I have a great question from Scott, Leanne. Okay, so if you had to quickly explain the difference in a standard rose and a garden rose, would you just say size and petal shape or count?
Not always size, because some of the standard roses are getting so huge now. Like Oceana, oh my gosh, it's enormous. So big that it almost falls apart. Well, they do fall apart, yeah, many times. And garden roses can be very small or bigger. So I would say petal count, that's a big one, and then form. And by that, let's see what I've got here. Let me put this down into some water here real quick so that I don't kill them, because it's too much beauty.
You know what, too, Leanne? We also have those big pink Floyd roses back there that are ginormous.
Oh,
but
yeah.
they're not a garden rose, though.
No, and that's exactly correct. So there we go. So here's a standard rose, pink Floyd, and you can see how tall it is. and how big, and when it opens, it gets really huge, super huge. Then you have Effie, that is also huge. And then, some gorgeous roses, so many different ones. But what I look at with a garden rose is usually they open out to a little flatter face, and they have a much higher petal count. It's much more like an old-fashioned rose you would have seen in Grandma's garden, as opposed to the standard roses that we see where it's much more upright. The petal count is lower. The shape is different. So I would say petal count and form would be the difference to look at. Sometimes it's fragrance. This one's intoxicating. But some other flowers do have fragrance as well, and not all garden roses do. So you can't do fragrance. So I would say form and petal count. And just be excited about that. Okay. So this was 2011, Thanksgiving, going into a more transparent geometric form, and then doing an upright that was just sort of because I had it. But when we did it for real, this is what we did. Carolyn, I'm going to set up for another one. What have you got going on over there?
Christine has a great question. She is asking if you have any tips on keeping spray roses from dying faster than the rest of the florals when inserted in oasis.
Interesting. So I don't find spray roses to die quickly in oasis. Where it could happen, okay, so let's think about this. Where it could happen is if you have any flower, spray rose, carnation, chrysanthemum, it could be anything, in oasis that isn't holding as well as you want it to. It could be simply that the water reservoir isn't enough. So for example, here I have a compote in foam, okay? And I've got quite a bit of foam in here, but I'm going to tip this, and you can see that there's lots of room around it. See all this room? This is all room for a water reservoir. And what I find causes flowers to decline when they're in foam is not so much the foam, but the lack of a water reservoir. So make sure that your container has that, because if you have a good water reservoir, I don't think you'll find that it dies on you. I think it'll hold pretty well. This one, as well as in foam, but there's a huge side for a water reservoir, so it's going to hold without any problem. So I think it'll be okay. So now my challenge to you guys, I haven't done a challenge yet. I got to do that. I asked you to introduce yourself. I asked you to put your tulip in there. I asked you to share, and I'm going to do that again. Please share. But my next challenge is once you do your Thanksgiving flowers, take a picture, post it on social media, and tag Floral Design Institute. That way I'll get to see. I promise I'll peek, I'll be watching, I'll look to see what is hashtag Floral Design Institute, so that I can see what you created for Thanksgiving. Because I'd love to know, love to see.
Well, Ann, speaking of introductions, Annie earlier said that her mom always asks her for a Christmas list, and this year she's going to ask for a subscription to the Flower Lovers Club.
How fun. It's amazing to me how many Flower Lovers Club memberships do coincide with Christmas, because it works so well for you to be able to use that as a gift that keeps gifting. So that's an easy one. So if you're looking for a gift for someone that you know loves flowers, consider a subscription to the Flower Lovers Club, because it's just $59.95 and you get access to 5 private libraries. That's pretty great. And it allows you to be part of the tribe. So then you can go on to the the Tulip Tribe Facebook page, which is the private group. So lots of benefits to that. So good. And I love, I haven't seen it yet. It's a little bit early. It'll probably start over the weekend. But I always love the number of people that give the gift of basic floral design. Husbands will buy it for their wives, parents will buy it for their children, friends band together knowing that this person should be a professional florist, and so they buy them their education. And talk about a gift that keeps giving. The gift of education is a gift forever. That's pretty exciting. So I'm very, 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 very thrilled as the holidays come and we start seeing that happen. So I'm glad that you put the Flower Lovers Club on your shopping list, because it is a perfect little gift for the holidays. And the Flower Lovers Club is so perfect because it's the gift of education. It's the gift of investing in yourself. Right now, we all need to be thinking about that, investing in ourselves. It's been such a year. It's been so hard. And now with COVID affecting our Thanksgivings, kind of depressing. So we need to look for things to make us happy. So now, this is going to be basically a composite design. I think Teacher Michelle started this one. And I think the magnolia is actually out of her yard. And then the compote, or the urn, was from my shelf. The sunflowers, were these Florabundance, do you think? Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? We have no idea. But they're wonderful, whatever they are.
I think they were from Market, actually.
Okay. Then we have some dyed sage to get in that autumn hue. Putting that in.
And Leanne, can you share something with everyone out there? There was one of those actual sunflowers that didn't make it, and I took the petals off, and it looked so cool. It's actually right behind you with the other depetaled sunflowers to the other side, and
wow.
The color's really cool.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so one of these faded prematurely, was not beautiful. So Marisa just removed the petals. Look at that. Oh my gosh, I love that. The color on that is so beautiful. What do you think? Do you like it? Flowers are magical. Absolutely magical. That is great. So adding in the sage, bringing in a little bit of the autumn hue, carrying it through to the opposite side. Those of you that have been to flower school know that if you start on one side, you've got to carry it through visually to enhance the line and the focal emphasis, the movement, and then filling on in, turning it so you can see the back. That way you can see everything. I'm going to bring a little bit more to the front here now that I'm looking at it from this side, just because I think it fills it in a little bit better. There we go. But keeping the lines going, enhancing. Then going back saying, wonder what else I want to put in here. Because there's so many great flowers. Is this so cool? Thanks Florabundance, thanks Garden Roses Direct. These were from last week, and I just kind of am still using them. And we've got some great movies that we've been filming that you'll see on our Monday email using some of their product. So if you aren't subscribing to our email newsletter, do so. And that way you'll get those how-to videos as they are produced and out. I know they're gone off to edit. I haven't seen them yet, but I'm sure they're fabulous. I'm hoping they're fabulous. Oh my gosh, they better be fabulous because we had fabulous flowers. If they're not, shame on me. Bad Leanne. So as I'm finishing up this one, before I move on to the next design, quick question for you. What's your favorite tradition about your Thanksgiving holiday? Do you have one? Do you have something that you do every year that makes you happy? My tradition is the flowering. I go crazy with flowering. I spend all day long just doing flowers because I don't cook, so I don't have to. I just have to make pretty. And that tradition just brings me great joy. So what is your tradition? What brings you great joy on the Thanksgiving weekend?
So we have a question wondering about that sunflower, Leanne. Someone wants to know if you would actually sell that sunflower without the petals on it.
Ooh, yes, I certainly would. And I wouldn't tell them that it's a dead sunflower without petals. I would just put it in the arrangement and have it be beautiful. And they would go, oh, isn't that beautiful? They wouldn't know. They would just think that that is the way the flower is, because it is, and it is beautiful. So yes, I would sell it, and I would sell it for the full price. I wouldn't discount it. I might even charge more because I took the time to make it unique, one of a kind, and bespo. So yes, I certainly would sell that to a customer, and I would be totally confident that they would love it because it is so grand. So yes, I would, definitely. Okay, so you can see the sage, the sunflowers, some leucadendron. Need a little bit more right here to finish this off, and maybe some more fun just to brighten it. And did you see these billy balls? These are huge. They're enormous. I cannot believe it. They're just ginormous. And then I've got a little bit of the leucospermum, the pincushion protea. So I could go ahead and just tuck this in. Maybe a little bit too long. Cut it down a little more. There we go. Get that in there. Adding a little more texture. Bringing the billy balls up a bit. Making sure to bring them towards the back as well. I'm going to turn it so you can see. May even go up a little more, just because I can. And it's fun, and they're such beautiful little blooms. And then I'm going to turn it so you can see the back, because it's equally as beautiful on the back side. And I'm going to add one more here. See how it just comes up through the center? And I'm not liking where that one is ending up, so let's just kind of fuss with it a little bit. There we go. Adding a little bit of height, and then coming on down. Okay. So this could be Thanksgiving to set on the kitchen counter, to set on a buffet. It's a little too tall for the table, but you could do Thanksgiving this way. But this year, this is a crazy year. Don't you know? Don't you think it's a crazy year? So I thought for Thanksgiving this year, maybe we should be a little bit crazier. Think beyond the traditions. Think beyond the things we've done in years past. And look at, okay, what's what's Thanksgiving 2020? For me, Thanksgiving 2020 is unique. My sister-in-law was brilliant. Linda, oh my gosh, she's amazing. But she was brilliant, and she knew that as a huge family, we have a very, very large family, and they're all right here, that it wouldn't be safe for us all to be together because some of us are younger, some of us are older, some of us are compromised, some of us aren't, and it's just not safe to gather. So she's doing an exchange. So we all signed up to make one of the favorite family foods, things that we knew we loved, the traditions. Somebody's making green Jell-O. I'm doing Brussels sprouts, 7 pounds to tell you the truth. We've got pie, we've got turkey, we've got stuffing, we've got rolls, we've got cheesy potatoes, all the things that just are appropriate for the family. And we're meeting this evening, actually. Tonight, after this, we're all gathering outside at her garage. She set it up. She's got tables for each family. We're not eating there. We're not staying together. But she set up a table for each family. She'll roll up the garage door. We show up, and we each portioned the foods into individual packages for each family. So I'll lay Brussels sprout, Brussels sprout, Brussels sprout, Brussels sprout. Somebody else will do pie, 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 roll, 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 roll. And then once everything's on the table, you take everything from your table, put it in your car, and go home. And then tomorrow we'll all sit down together and eat the same food by Zoom. So we can talk on the phone, we can watch on the computer, whatever it takes. And we'll all do it together. And I thought, that's so fun. So then I was thinking, well, how do you do a centerpiece for Zoom? Hello? And I thought, this is crazy. So then when I started thinking about crazy, I thought, well, let's be crazy. So one of the things that I thought could be kind of fun is to do an ornamental design, something totally different than what I would ever do for Thanksgiving. So I grabbed a lot of things, some Aspidistra leaves. And if you have done class with us, you know about foliage manipulation. And with the Aspidistra, I can take an 18 gauge wire, 18 gauge, and tape it down to the back side. And it's easier with a 1/2 inch tape than it is with the 1/4 inch tape, using waterproof tape. Okay. Just taping that to the back side of the leaf. Okay, like that. Okay. Pretty ugly, huh? I promise you, it gets better. If you want somebody to see something really silly and crazy, perfect for Thanksgiving 2020, tag them, share this out, spread the word, say, I think Leanna's gone crazy, because that's sort of where we are. Then I take a second leaf, using the 3M Super 77 spray glue, spray the backside, and then put them together. So now you can't see the tape. Okay. Now obviously I'm not going to spray in the studio, but that's what I would do. And when you do that, you then have a leaf that you can manipulate and get into different forms. Pretty cool, don't you think? Okay. So I thought, let's do some of those. We'll place those in here. So these have all been spray glued and prepared. I'm just placing them into my foam, which has a water reservoir, so it will hold well.
So Leanne, I have a few traditions.
Oh, cool. What traditions do we have?
Okay. Reflecting on what they're grateful for. Cooking mac and cheese for their family.
Ooh, yum.
Making family recipes. Mimosas while cooking. Grandmother's Scottish pork sausage stuffing. Yeah, right? Turkey-shaped shortbread cookies. You're gonna love this one. Transforming the house for Christmas. And then lastly, this is my favorite one. Using the same wooden spoon that has been in the family for generations, passing it around the table, using it as a microphone to say what they're thankful for.
I love that. That is special. You know, remembering the season of gratitude and being thankful. And especially this year, we have to really work to remember there are things to be thankful for. And to really concentrate on the blessings in our lives. Because I'm not going to lie, it's been a hard year. It's been a lot of tragedy for a lot of people and at very difficult times for all of us. But the reality is there's always something, if you look really hard, to be thankful for. And I love the spoon. I know I always use the gravy boat that was my grandmother's. And then another grandmother had a deviled egg plate. I always use that for the deviled eggs. Those traditions are so important, vitally important. So in this design, I created a fan of Aspidistra, and then I can manipulate them, give them a little movement so they're not stiff. Adjusting. And then bringing in carnations to create the form of the design. Now, I'm using burgundy and red to get a little bit of variation because I don't like it to be so static. So I might do red, 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 and then come in with some of the burgundy to get that variation on color.
Leanne, everyone on Facebook has been dead silent for quite a few moments. I think that they're quite curious on what is happening here.
It's the same with you two.
So am I. Okay, so people, I know it's been a tough day, hasn't it? I mean, we've all been trying to get pies done, to get the Brussels sprouts ready, and oh my gosh, I'm obsessing on these stupid Brussels sprouts. For those of you that know, I don't cook. I've said that many a time, and yet this year I'm actually cooking Brussels sprouts. I'm like, hello. So I practiced for the last 3 weeks. I've been practicing making Brussels sprouts. I now hate Brussels sprouts, even though I used to love them. But when you practice them for 3 weeks so that you don't screw it up for the family dinner, oh my gosh, oh, it's just too much work. But anyway, that's life. And so, yeah, you're probably wondering, what in the heck is she doing? She's getting really weird.
Well, actually, Leanne, people are actually starting to respond to what they think it is.
Well, I bet you might think correctly. Now, of course, doing my crazy Thanksgiving, it can't be one-sided. So I'm going ahead and I'm bringing some around to the back. I'll turn it so you can see. I'm not making it one-sided, but I'm making this one a little smaller. So this, if you think, are they guessing correctly? You know what I'm making. Are they guessing correctly?
Yeah, everyone's like, oh yeah. I think someone had to say it first, and everyone's like, oh yeah, that's what I thought too.
Okay, so my turkey butt is sort of flat in the back because I don't want my turkey butt to be a fat butt. And so I've got this kind of tucked in here.
Dwayne said turkey butt tufts.
Yeah, it's a butt tuck, that's right. And then bringing it on around, and then my body, of course, is full and lush because my turkey has been fattening up for the whole season to get ready for this. Oh my. Actually, we may have to pardon this turkey and just enjoy him being part of our meal as opposed to eating it. So those of you that are vegetarian, this is a turkey for you. Yeah. Tucking it in. Now you'll notice it took a lot of carnations. So being silly and crazy for Thanksgiving 2020 doesn't mean it's inexpensive because it takes a lot of flowers to have a fat turkey. And you certainly don't want a skinny turkey. You've got to have an abundant turkey. I think this turkey would be what, a 20-pound turkey maybe? I don't know. Who weighs their turkey? I mean, my God.
Leanne, Penny says it looked like a showgirl costume until I saw the turkey shape evolve.
It is like a showgirl costume. Well, you know, 2020 is kind of a showgirl kind of year. Not always a good one. Maybe a showgirl that didn't go to bed at night, that stayed up too long and got a little crazy. Then, of course, we need a head.
Oh my gosh.
So now, those of you that have taken basic floral design, you know how to do that. Is that too cute? Oh my gosh. So what I did, and I'm not going to do it on camera right now, but just I'll kind of preview it slightly. It is palm, and just like you learned in basic floral design, you just kind of tuck it into your belly button or the drawer or whatever, and you start weaving. So think about, not basic, this would be advanced floral design. And you just start braiding, and you just keep braiding, and actually I got to do it the other direction. I put it backwards. There we go. But you start braiding over, under, round, and if you have long hair and you braid your hair, you're really good at this. If you have short hair like me, it's a bit more of a challenge because I've never braided hair. Hello. And so I had to really practice to get this learned. But you just keep pulling it in together, braiding it down, tightening it as you go. And I have to say a huge thank you to Marisa for getting this ready for me today, because I told her, you know, I want to do a turkey. Would you make some of these up for me? Because I'm not going to have time to do it all on camera. And so she made me a whole bunch of them so that they were all ready, and had them set just like so. Then, to make it even more fun, you could go back. You know, a lot depends on how much time you have. And you can go back and add some of these that are braided into the tail, which just gives a conversation piece for all your guests at the dinner, because they're like, oh my gosh, what is that? And you say, well, you know what? It's the crazy 2020 turkey coming to dinner. And just kind of feed it in.
Well, I know you weren't planning on it, Leanne, but a lot of people are requesting googly eyes.
I know, well, we gotta have them. And thanks to Marisa and Carolyn, we always have these little extra things hanging around here because they keep me being kind of crazy sometimes. So there we go.
I love it.
Put a couple back here too, because you can't have a flat centerpiece. You gotta have it go all the way around.
I have to say it, Leanne. Gobble, gobble!
Gobble, gobble, gobble.
Everybody's loving the googly eyes. They're saying, yes, googly eyes.
We have someone going, use 2 billy balls, but the billy balls we have are like ginormous.
I know, they're too big, way too big.
Everyone now wants to name the turkey, Leanne.
Oh, what's his name? Or her name? Is it a boy or a girl? I guess I shouldn't even judge there. What is their name?
Yeah.
We have a binary, or what is it, binary? No, I don't know. But, well, we have a turkey that is asexual, an asexual turkey. So you guys type in your names. Let us know what you think their name should be. And I'm going to keep trying to get these googly eyes off of my little glue tab that I put on here so we can add that. And I probably should add a wattle down its neck so that it's got a little bit of color there too. Oh my gosh. Oh, this is just too much. Oh.
Okay, first one we got here, because this was actually Dwayne's idea anyway to name. Flora Turk Abundance.
Flora Turk Abundance. You know, I would have never thought that I would make a turkey on a live. And I would say, no, that's crazy. But you know, Thanksgiving 2020 is kind of crazy. So maybe this is appropriate, especially since it is the way it is this day. Okay, so then I need a little wattle on him. I probably need a picture of a turkey to make sure I do it exactly correctly. I think we'll skip that. Let's see, have I got, there it is. Okay.
Oh, I love this.
So people, you saw it here first. The Floral Design Institute can do pretty and we can do silly, but you know what we do? We have fun. And we do what we love each and every day.
I'm so sorry. I just love it. I love it.
And now he needs a beak.
Oh my gosh, what do I make the beak out of? Oh my gosh, I thought I was doing pretty good to get a wattle on there. Oh my gosh. Okay, people. I definitely have outdone myself on this one. We don't teach this in basic floral design or in advanced floral design, but we do teach this and this, and we do teach you to have fun and to create and to make beauty, be it silly and crazy or not. Oh my gosh, I'm just kind of having fun with this because it is so silly. You know, he needs a bow tie, don't you think? That's what he needs. He's got to get dressed. He's got to be ready for the party because, you know, I don't care if you're doing Thanksgiving for 1, Thanksgiving for 2. I hope you're not doing Thanksgiving for 20. That's not probably a very safe thing. But whatever you're doing, I hope you take the time to make it special. Make it special for you because you are worth it. It doesn't have to be special for the world, but make it be special for you. It could be a turkey TV dinner. It could be tacos and guacamole. It could be crackers and cheese. Doesn't matter. What matters is that you make it special. You make it special for you because you're important. That you really think about what you can be grateful for. So now we're dressed for Thanksgiving.
And Nicole has a good name for the bird, Kobe the turkey.
Kobe the turkey.
Okay, I have ones that'll battle that one. I have Panderic.
Panderic. Oh my gosh, you guys.
Awesome.
But wait, I have one that's probably even better than those two. This is, I think, my favorite one. Lacey Fantushy.
Oh, jeez. Oh my gosh. Such great names. Now, I'm going to hold this for a second to get it really dry because it's not sticking quite yet and I want it to not fall off. There we go. I do want you, as you're doing you and your holiday, and this one's a weird one. Yes, Thanksgiving's tomorrow, but you know what? Start today. Think about it today. Think about it through the weekend. Continue on. Think about what you're thankful for. Think about how you're going to do that with flowers. Make something. Big, little, silly, or ornate. Take a picture and post it. I want to see. And then get ready for Thanksgiving. Remember that even though it's a pandemic, even though we're isolated, it's different, and we're not doing our same traditions, make sure you include the traditions that are important to you. So now that we're done, I'll share with you what my important is. So my centerpiece is silly this year. I'm not going formal. I'm not going fancy. It's just David and I, just the two of us for Thanksgiving. That's it. So we're going to do silly. And for the first time, now that I think about it, for the first time in my life, I'm actually going to have Thanksgiving at a round table with just the two of us. And Wally Wonder, or COVID, or whatever his name is going to be. But we will get dressed. And we will be prepared. Even though it's just the two of us, we'll get ready. And my favorite Thanksgiving outfit is what I'm going to wear because sometimes you got to have tradition. So I'm going to wear my vest. This vest was actually David's. And it's about, I want to say 35 years old, maybe 40 years old. It was the very first vest he got when he got his very first real corporate job. It doesn't fit him anymore. It's mine now. And then my favorite blazer that I only wear from Halloween to Thanksgiving because it's a little bit loud and a little bit crazy, but it makes me happy. So this is going to be my Thanksgiving outfit. David's blazer, my jacket, and my friend. And we're going to have a grand dinner. What are you going to do? Don't get bogged down on what you can't do. Get excited about what you can do. This is your year. This is a new year. This is a crazy year. Crazy 2020 Thanksgiving. What's it going to be? How are you going to do it? So share this out. Let people know how crazy we can be here. Join us for Flower School. Have a great weekend. Take care of yourself and celebrate all that you have to be grateful for. I'll see you next week. We'll be moving forward into winter and away from craziness. Who knows what we're going to do, but it'll be fabulous, I'm sure. But thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week. Thanks, Caledonia. Thanks, Susie, Carolyn, Marisa, for pulling this all together. And thank you for joining me for the weekly collaboration. Share and tag. See you next week. Bye for now.